Let's look at the data. The United States Surgeon General reports that we are currently in a loneliness epidemic, with 1 in 4 adults feeling completely isolated and disconnected. Traditionally, this is viewed as a pathology. Clinical data shows that prolonged social isolation increases the risk of heart disease by 29% and stroke by 32%. It is not just an emotional state, it is a physical threat. But there is a paradox that the statistics often miss. You chose to cut people off. You looked at your phone, saw the name on the screen, and decided, not today. And instead of feeling broken or lonely, you felt a profound sense of peace. Your brain has determined that the metabolic cost of certain connections is higher than the physical risk of isolation. You aren't being antisocial. Your nervous system is performing a highly efficient conservation protocol. This mechanism is what Dr. Stephen Porges calls the Polyvagal Theory. Your nervous system operates in different modes to protect your energy, which is a finite biological resource. When you have been drained too many times, when you have been the sponge for everyone else's chaos, your brain doesn't wait for permission. It flips a switch, moving you from social engagement into the dorsal vagal response. This is a state of shutdown and withdrawal designed specifically for protection. To understand why your brain views people as a threat, we have to look at your internal blueprint. Many of us learned to read the room before we could read books. You grew up scanning faces for shifts in mood, learning that closeness often comes with a hidden cost. Psychologist Murray Bowen referred to this as an emotional cutoff. It is a survival strategy developed when love and unpredictability were a package deal. As an adult, this has transformed you into a high-level data processor. A 2023 study in Nature Neuroscience found that individuals who experienced early emotional stress developed heightened activity in the brain's threat detection regions. You aren't paranoid, you are processing social information at a level most people never access. Researchers at the University of Iowa discovered that the frontal lobe, the part of the brain responsible for complex social decisions, works overtime in people with this background. Your gut feeling about a person is actually thousands of hours of refined data being processed by your early warning system. There is a critical distinction between building walls and setting boundaries. Walls are built from fear and block everyone, the good and the bad. Boundaries are selective and built from self-awareness. If you cut someone off and feel an immediate sense of relief, that is data. It confirms that the connection was a drain on your homeostasis. Society uses words like withdrawn or isolated, assuming that something is missing. But there is a better word, solitude. Loneliness is the absence of connection you want. Solitude is the presence of the peace you chose. You aren't running away from connection. You are running toward a version of yourself that can finally hear itself think. You are reallocating your cognitive power from managing other people's chaos to building your own sanctuary. The goal isn't to be alone forever, but to be highly selective. The Harvard 75-year study on happiness is conclusive. Well-being is not determined by the number of people in your life, but the quality of the right ones. If your circle is small, but consists of people who truly see you, you aren't doing it wrong. You are optimizing your biological and emotional environment. You aren't cold, heartless, or incapable of love. You are simply protective of the energy required to sustain your life. By recognizing the patterns and choosing peace over noise, you are performing one of the most sophisticated acts of self-preservation possible. The biological mechanism is simple: protect your peace to protect your life. Subscribe to update your internal firmware and continue building your neural blueprint.